Okay, shout out to Live Moolah for bringing up this conversation that's been had for the past 15 plus minus years in terms of the New York rap scene. Um, it's not a rebuttal, it's actually a piggyback. I will say this though, I guess like I never really cared like because I was just born out the way. Like, yes, I'm into hip hop. It don't matter where it came from, but whatever the case is, you already know my story on how the genre had put me in a mental institution 7 plus minus times throughout the course of 10 to 15 years since 2010. So I think the problem is like it's not so of the OGs or the generations ahead. It's the fact that there's a lot of gatekeepers, you know? And honestly, even in the younger generation, fine. First of all, what the one thing that the OGs did, I'm talking about the golden age, stemming from Generation X, somewhat of a millennial, and definitely boomers of New York, is the fact that they always put each other on. You know, they always put each other on and show love. Now, you got people possibly my generation, half of my generation, and generations down. It's like the minute that the pioneers or the golden age like green lights them, or let's say what is that word, I guess verifies their spot in the New York hip hop scene. It's like the people in my generation and further generation, like Generation Z, if you will, like would want to gatekeep from the rest of the New York rappers, and now you're wondering why there's a lot of static between New York rappers within my generation and Generation Z. Because the minute that an OL, this is my friend Quasia, you already know, Q the Trinity, yes, bitch. So the minute that the golden age or the pioneers like co-signs, that was the word I was looking for. The minute that the pioneers or golden age co-sign somebody from my generation or Generation Z in the New York rap scene, it's like them niggas want to gatekeep. It's like they gobbled it all up to the point that they want to gatekeep to the point. It's like now there's a lot of static. Okay, now you got this OG putting you on. How about putting your people on? How about doing a whole fucking show, whatever the case is? How about showing out for the community or whatever the case is? It don't matter what hood, because it don't matter what hood you come from, because it leads to 1/12 of the nation from New York City alone, especially different neighborhoods, different boroughs. But it's like the thing with my generation and Generation Z, the New York hip hop scene, is that the minute that somebody from the golden age or the pioneers, like let's say, verifies their spot and solidifies their spot, co-sign and all that, the other side of my generation or the other side of Generation Z New York artists want to gatekeep from everybody else. And this is why there's a lot of politics. This is why there's a lot of podcasts or whatever the case is. It's like, okay, it's one thing. Okay, fine. You can get co-signed from an OG or whatever the case is. You can have an OG like your post. But the thing is, to the other side of the universe, it's like y'all head gets so filled up with ego to the point you don't even want to spread the wealth. You don't want to put your people on this and this and that. And this one, it becomes politics. And this one, it becomes an unnecessary slaughter. Like New York rap scene, like literally turned to like a shade fest in a ballroom. Okay? Like, I'm not really a ballroom head. I'm a ballroom fan. But I've seen for myself, courtesy of my timeline, that the minute that a ballroom pioneer or ballroom OG acknowledges the younger generation, their heads get so fucking filled up. And it's like the same way in hip hop. And it's like now there's a lot of static. Now niggas want to cut each other over the shit that the OG said about that one person. But the OG, whether in the hip hop or in the ballroom in the New York scene, is telling you, yo, put your people on, bro. Stop being so fucking selfish. Stop gatekeeping. The thing is, the other side of the millennials and Generation Z in the New York hip hop scene, they basically deflect and don't want to listen to what the OGs of the golden age and the pioneers have been kicking. and how they survived in a New York rap scene for this long and ongoing. So they dismissed what they told them, and this is where it leads to. And now there's a lot of podcast brothers from New York City. Okay? So this is not a call out, this is not a call in, because I'm out of the way either way, you know, as I still pray for the next homosexual out of New York City. You know, it don't matter what borough. But yeah, but I mean, of course, out of the Bronx, but like anywhere else. Like, I pray for the next homosexual out of the New York City to move the city forward, spread the love, especially in the Bronx, and that is just everywhere, you know? The thing is, it's the ego, okay? Like, on the low, there was a couple of legends that like my raps and my profile, my freestyles, and I took a screenshot back in the day, but I really did. I thought nothing of it. The other person, the next person who will be a millennial with me, will gobble that shit so up that it's like, oh yeah, I got cosign this and this and that. I'm not fucking with y'all niggas, this and this and that. Bro, do you know how many, like, okay, fine. Percy P liked some of my posts. Dragon liked some of my posts. You know, a couple of legends are here and there. Like Pioneer, Golden Age, they just like some of it, right? But on the low, like, if I kept it to myself, I kept it to myself for a reason, because I didn't want people to start thinking that I'm over here being conceited, because they're human beings just like me. You understand? And it's nothing. Like, I'm not that starstruck. But the millennial from the on the other side of the universe will get so starstruck, will get so caught up that he, she, or it will fuck around and gatekeep. And you know what? It's a long shot, but yes. This is definitely the piggyback to Live Mullah's post that I just reposted on my Instagram. Thank you.